Hello everybody, I'm Nate and welcome to my channel. I'm here in Nashville at my in-laws and hope you had a good Thanksgiving break. Today we have a review for you. This is the new zero gravity return tops. This is the Basilisk-D. This is a D-bearing bimetal version of their original monometal C-size bearing Basilisk, thus the Basilisk-D. All right, let's get into it. Let's talk about the Basilisk-D from zero gravity return tops. All right. It is pretty much exactly the same design, same shape, everything. If you looked at it just from the profile, you would be like, oh, that's just the Basilisk. But then you turn it this way and you're like, ah, bimetal, there we go, pretty cool. Has very much the same shape, same width, same diameter, same very competition-focused V-shape. I really liked that V-shape. It was very subtle, like it has a very subtle curve here as well, just ever so slightly, and so it's going to pull away from there. It's going to have less string drag than just a straight-in V-shape. And then, of course, it's bimetal as well, so you have lots of weight added to the rims there, and gives it a little bit more of that performance than maybe the original one did, which it had quite a bit of performance out of the gate with the monometal as well. The other major difference, of course, is that D-bearing, which I love D-bearing yo-yos. It tends to be a little bit in the fad a little bit right now, which is totally fine because I like them. I think they're in yo-yos right now for a good reason. I think it's very popular right now for a very good reason, because D-bearing kind of gives it just a little bit more of that pick up and go right out of the gate. It's particularly good for mid to undersized yo-yos. This is a full-size yo-yo, so it's going to be interesting to see what that does. The tolerances of it being D-bearing and bimetal are pretty tight, so making a perfectly smooth yo-yo is going to be maybe a little bit more of a challenge in the design for those two things kind of combined. So we'll see how it does, and we'll talk about the smoothness of all that on the string section. I like the color of this as well. It comes in a lot of cool different colorways. I like that black base there, and everything else that pops on there. We have purple, we have pinks, and we have blues, and we even have like yellow, a little bit of green in there. And so that's really nice. The engravings on there are pretty much like the Basilisk was. Has the little lizard there, but it has the D next to it, so you know which one's which if you couldn't tell the difference. Anyways, I also really like the rainbow, sort of fade on those rims, on the bimetal rims. This one on this side is a little bit more the purple, and on this side is a little bit more green and blue. Overall, the yo-yo kind of looks a little more purple. Has a lot of that black base to it, but that purple really kind of pops really well whenever it's spinning. Pretty much the exact same design, a lot of the same features that the original Basilisk had. It does have that finger spin ready dimple, not very deep, so it's going to be easy enough to hit, and centers enough, but not so deep that it locks in that you're not going to be able to kind of pop it around, move it from finger to finger, and so on and so on. Okay? All right. That's pretty much it. Again, if you want to know more about the actual shape and design of the original Basilisk, you can check out my other video on that, but it's pretty much standardly the same. What I really want to do now is really just kind of play this and see how it performs and stacks up with the already very good monometal. All right? So let's get into that, and let's actually go play it. All right. Welcome back to the On the String section with the Basilisk-D from Zero Gravity Return Top. Like I said, very much the same shape and look, obviously, than the Basilisk. Instead of just putting a D-bearing in it and just kind of leaving it at that, they also made it a bimetal yo-yo. So with that said, the tolerances are a little bit tighter, right? And so as far as creating a yo-yo that is nice and smooth, that is A-grade smooth, this is it. I have had a chance to take it apart a couple different times. I am not of the camp that you don't take apart yo-yos if you have a bearing wrap or something like that. I am definitely going to take apart a yo-yo, and I don't think that should deter it from being less smooth. And this one is dead smooth. The tolerances are just right, and which is a hard thing to do, especially for a full-size yo-yo here and a wider yo-yo that this is. So D-bearing, bimetal, Good stuff. Yeah, really just performance gap, great for that. Really just going to have a lot of string wraps and not going to be able to slow down really at all. And binds are nice and snappy. The only thing that it really doesn't have going for it is necessarily like the best regens, because it isn't got a higher wall at all, and the shape, of course, is that more V shape. So they're controlled, right? They're not bad, but they're not perfect. This would not be a yo-yo that I would be doing a lot of, you know, regens with naturally. As far as the balance of this yo-yo, you can really see that with something like a finger grind. I mean, holy cow, right? It spins all day. Let me actually go ahead and show you with one to just have a harder throw, and then I'll kind of just let it spin out until it's dead. That's a pretty long time. It does not have an IRG, so like popping it up kind of straight up is not going to work. If you really want to, you can tilt it a little bit and you can do that, but it's not going to have that. Where the rings are, it doesn't have enough of a space in there. As far as finger spins are concerned, it's going to hit that really nice. I didn't even hit that one directly in the middle, and it kind of just rolled around and gave me just enough space to kind of pull that in. And yeah, really nice for that. Really nice. Rejections are really nice as well. Has just a really good performance gap for that. Yeah, no problem hitting that. It's also going to be great for horizontal play. I talked about that, you know, with a lot less string drag. And actually, with that bimetal design, I would say, just kind of knowing, comparing the two from the Basilisk to the Basilisk-D, with that bimetal addition, it just gives it a little bit more of that oomph, you know what I mean? That's the technical term for it. A little bit more power right out the gate with that D bearing. Has a little bit more stability and a little bit more performance than the mono metal version had, which that yo-yo was great. I would say amongst their catalog of yo-yos, that was probably the most performance shape. And so I think it was really smart for them to kind of up the ante and make this a little bit more performance than even the original Basilisk. So really nice on this. If you're looking for a yo-yo in their catalog that is the highest performance focused yo-yo, this would probably be it right here, the Basilisk-D. I like that trick. You can do it as a repeater if you want. I like the addition of the D-bearing, obviously. I like D-bearing yo-yos. I think they're just nice. And this one worked really well for that D-bearing. Normally, I would lean towards more of an undersized yo-yo for a D-bearing, but this one worked really well. And that bimetal design as well, it just kind of has a little bit more of that it factor, a little bit more of that performance factor than the mono metal version did. I like the Basilisk. If you have it, this will be a nice complement to that, and one that you can feel like you can own both. I feel like it's always a little risky, you know, doing a second edition of the same design, maybe a bimetal or something like that. This is different enough that I feel like you could own both of them, especially if you're a fan of zero gravity. And this one's nice. I really like it. So if you've not checked out zero gravity return tops, definitely check them out with this one. I have another yo-yo coming in from them that I don't believe has been even spoken about yet, so I won't give you anything more than that. But be on the lookout for that. I'll be doing a review shortly of that, I'm sure, as soon as zero gravity has given me the thumbs up for that. All right, that's going to do it for now of my review of the Basilisk-D from Zero Gravity Return Tops. And until the next one, later.